Welcome to the Towing Life Podcast, where the ditches are deep, the trucks are loaded, but the drivers are not. I am your host, Towman G, and it's unfortunately not a usual episode. Plane guy is sick, he's on his couch, bedridden, not doing so hot, and producer Sarah is traveling right now. So it's just leaving me here on a bunch of footage from the PTAO Tow Show that we were at a couple weeks ago. We've got a bunch of clips for you, mostly short form interviews. There is one long form interview with me and Bryce Weber. So if you want to skip over that when it starts, it's about 14 minutes long. Other than that, there's a lot of shorter, nice interviews that are short and sweet and to the point, asking people questions like where they're from, what do they drive, what got you into towing, some advice to give. There's tons of different content mixed into here. The audio is all over the place because it's all different mics. So hopefully it comes through all right on your end. I've tested it on my phone and my PC. I hope it's okay on the device you're listening to. With that said, hopefully you enjoy, and I'll see you at the end. Hey everyone, I'm Brad from Calgary.
This is Sean from Cambridge, Ontario.
I'm Terry from Cornwall, Ontario.
Hey, this is Larry from Pitt Meadows, British Columbia, and you're listening to the Towing Life Podcast.
I got questions. We're going to do something. We're not live. We're not live by any means. Okay, we're not live by any means. But I want to know, what'd you do before towing? I mean, before Matt Jack. Let's go before Matt Jack, to be fair.
I was a food service manager.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's all I want from everybody. I'm going to go around. I want to know what towers did before towing. I sold cars.
Oh, wow.
I sold cars. I was a car salesman, and I sold auto parts. What about you?
I was a construction manager for a housing developer.
Why towing?
Challenging, new, different every day.
That's fair. Look at that grab. I got a question for you, Jeff. We'll get you in footage here. What'd you do before towing?
Nothing.
It's a terrible answer.
I was towing since I was a teenager.
Since Christ was a choir boy.
I started.
Favorite job.
Oh, my favorite job was making pizzas.
Well, that's a job.
Yeah.
So you were doing something
In
before
high school,
towing.
making pizzas.
Making pizzas?
That was the best job I ever had.
What's the best kind of pizza?
Anything without pineapple. Best type of pizza, a Giordano's deep dish out of Chicago with anchovies, hot peppers, and sausage.
No pineapple.
No pineapple.
No pineapple. What's it got? Why towing?
Honestly,
I'll get you back on video for
I
this.
was working as a musician as well. I
Yep.
couldn't afford a vehicle. They were willing to give me a vehicle to drive around, and I didn't have a personal vehicle to drive, so I took that knowing I could use it at night to get to my gigs. That's honest truth.
I feel like that wouldn't be as allowed nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
There was no GPS trackers back then. They didn't know where it was going at
Just
night.
unplugs them now anyways. It's amazing how many vehicles end up doing an extra 400 or 500 kilometers a month, and it just stopped working. We don't know why.
Yeah, why is our fleet management off 300 kilometers? That must have been a flaw in the system.
Exactly. Every truck.
Perfect. All right, I'm continuing to go around. We're finding people what they did before towing. Thanks, guys. We're not live. We're just recording. I got a question for... No, seriously, I'm not. Look, you don't see the lives. It's all just recording. What were you doing before towing?
Heavy equipment operator.
Why towing?
I don't know, man. I just kind of stuck with me, you know?
You got hooked?
Got hooked.
That's a terrible pun. All right, that's fair. John from over at Canadian Towing Equipment.
Hey, how are you?
What'd you do before selling towing equipment?
I sold engines and transmissions.
What's cooler?
Towing equipment, by far.
That's pretty fair.
Are you using my other phone on me?
Yeah, I'm doing recordings for later. You've got a lot of video to edit.
Oh,
You've got a lot of video to edit.
God.
All right, who am I going to find? No, we can't go the same way. You go that way. He's live. I'm not.
That's what I'm avoiding.
Yeah, he's live. I'm just literally going to give him an SD card with 3 hours of footage and go find something from this. I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
We're not live. We're just recording. Trying to get into this. I'm really bad at holding a selfie stick. Up here? Oh, no, that really shows our difference. Let's go down here. That's really getting a spot on your head that leaves a bad reflection. What'd you do before towing?
In the automotive industry.
It's very vague.
Very vague. Cleaning, pressure washing, sale of products, car wash.
Why towing?
I got the hitch. I was young.
You got hooked.
I got hooked.
It's a terrible pun, but I've used it like 3 times because that's everyone's line. They did it once, and your
love
wife
it or you
is
don't.
giving you the eyes of, I wish you never did.
You love it or you don't.
I get that same look all the time.
And if you're there for the money, you're not going to consistently.
No. And if you're going to do it long enough, it's got to be because you love it. Because if not, you're not going to make it.
Like they say, I'll see you in the ditch.
Perfect. I'll use that clip. Thank you. My wife gives me that same look and rolls her eyes. I just want to point that out. Spike, I got questions. Hold on, we got to get you in here. First of all, other than being the best looking tow truck driver in the province, smooth. Look at that beard.
Come on, man.
Oh. My wife's not here. I might kiss you. What'd you do before towing?
What did I do before towing? Actually, I was working at a restaurant.
Why towing?
To be honest, I needed a job at that time. Yeah.
And
Actually, after the restaurant, I got fired from the restaurant. I went to Home Depot. Then I got fired within my probation period. I was taking too many breaks. Yeah, my 15-minute breaks were actually 45-minute breaks. And then I got fired from there, and then I needed a job. And then my cousins were doing towing before. So we hopped in with them, and then that's that. Almost on my 10th year now.
10 years, yeah. We're about the same time, though. We've been at the same time. I just went over 10 years. It's crazy. You can't do it 10 years if you don't have a passion for it, right? It just doesn't work. You have to have a passion for it.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm going around asking everybody. I appreciate that, man. Well, I'm not getting release waivers, though. I'm just using everything. And we may or may not use the clips. So I'll get both of you guys.
All right.
Let's see.
We're camera shy.
I'm terrible with a... Yeah, okay, clearly. What'd you do before towing?
What did I do before?
Yeah.
I was a mechanic.
Okay.
I started as a mechanic in my brother's shop. I also worked in a career in our town in the oil industry as well. I worked for the pipeline. So, but in the same time I was doing the oil industry, I was also towing. So
That's what I was going to say. Why towing? Of all things, why towing?
I fell in love with it. I was a mechanic. My brother had a truck. Started running his truck and just fell right in love with it.
I would ask Colin why towing, but I mean, you were kind of bored into it. Like that, second generation then, because it wouldn't be third generation, right? There was no generation before you.
Nope.
Okay. So what did you do before towing?
I've been pretty well towing since I was 18. I've been doing, I did odd jobs for neighbors and stuff like that, just kind of work around the town, but nothing career-wise before towing. It's just been towing pretty well from day one.
No pizza delivery guy or anything like that?
No, you wash trucks.
I did wash trucks. I had a business washing trucks for one of the local dealerships, but yeah, no, I've just always been in the towing industry and loved it.
And it was way before 18. He's been in the truck. Two.
Was there a car seat or two in a tow truck at one time?
A lot of car seats through those tow trucks in and out. But no, he's been in it from day one. Just couldn't get him out of it.
I'm coming to ask you next. I see the CAA shirt. We might have to block this out. I think I'm hated by the 3-letter roadsides.
Well, hey, what can you do?
What'd you do before towing?
I actually worked in a butcher shop.
Nice.
Yep.
Why towing?
Actually, it started out as it was a fallback. I needed somewhere to go. A friend of mine did it and turned me on to it, and then I got into it, and that's where I am now.
How long have you been doing it?
23 years.
Wow. Okay. So that's a hell of a fallback.
A couple years. Yeah.
That's a hell of a fallback.
Started when I was 26 when the insurance companies would take me.
Yeah.
That was our big problem back then was insurance.
It still is to this day. Nothing's changed.
Everybody's nightmare insurance.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing has changed. So cool. I appreciate that.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah, absolutely. You as well. All right, Tom NG.
Hello.
Wait. I can't work a selfie stick to save my life. There we go.
can't.
You're going to have so much footage to go through.
I know I am.
What did you do before towing? He does that still in towing. He didn't do it before. He still does it. In 4 implies he stopped. All right, let's try this one again. What'd you do before towing?
In high school, I was a mobile wedding DJ. From there, I did tree work part-time. After that, I kind of started into plowing. I then went to college to become a heavy equipment operator, and somehow I ended up here.
I asked for what'd you do before towing, not your life story.
Well, that's what I did before towing.
See, a man and a woman loved each other, and then you were born, and then, okay, why towing?
Why towing? I don't know. When I got into towing, I drove a Wright POS truck, and the transmission was blown. So it's like, if I'm going to break down all the time, the least I could do is tow my own shit.
That's a good reason.
Yeah.
How long have you been towing?
6-7 years. I don't really know. Time kind of stops after 5.
That's fair. Cool. Let's go find James. I see James hiding over there.
Did he interview you yet?
Who? Yeah, I got it. And then I'm going to give you an hour of this, and you can cut together a bunch of stuff. It's going to be great. I got questions. You got time for questions? Sure. Just one question. Well, actually, like 3 questions.
What?
You don't want to be on camera?
Yeah.
Why? Well, do you charge me per question?
I could.
Well.
Do you pay per question?
Okay, other than being a famous tow truck driver on TV and star of Debbie with a Beard Does Dallas.
Yeah.
What'd you do before towing?
Not a lot. I went to school.
How long have you been towing for?
Since I was 16.
I didn't know you've been doing it that long.
Yeah, man. This is 36 years, I think, now.
Why towing?
That's my dad's fault. Yeah.
Okay, so your dad, so second generation?
Yeah.
I know so little about you, James.
Yeah, my old man got into it first, and then I took it and ran with it. Yeah.
That is an interesting thing.
Well, the problem is I still like it. I don't know why.
And how long is it, 20-some years?
No, 34 or 35.
Yeah, I'm a rookie at 10 in comparison. I'm a rookie at 10 in comparison. Oh, that's impressive.
I still like getting out of bed to go and do it.
Any words for anyone that's getting into the industry?
It's hard. That's a good question. You know, do you steer them into it or out of it? You know, that's a good
in these
question.
In these times, the way the towing industry is, it's a really. I think more people are having a tough time answering that one.
Yeah, you know what? That is very hard to answer. To suggest somebody gets into this, I love it. Like I said, every day I still love getting out of bed and coming to do it. But to suggest somebody to come and do this, that's a hard call. You know, just with the way things are going now with everything. You know, yeah.
Safety, it's a crazy industry.
It is.
If you don't like it, you're not going to make it a long time.
No.
So, I mean, to push someone into it, if they don't develop their own passion for it, it ain't going to matter anyways.
And they're going to know in a hurry.
Yes, you will.
You know what it's like.
Yep.
It's in your blood.
Yep.
It gets in here and it does not get out.
You get hooked. I've been saying the pun this whole time. It's a terrible pun, but it's true. You literally get hooked. And did you ever take a break in those years? Like take a year off and try something else?
Almost a year, not quite a year.
Yeah.
We opened an automotive business and yeah, I couldn't do it.
No, I was the same way.
So whereabouts are you guys from?
We're from Tillsonburg, Ontario.
Tillsonburg. And what do you drive?
We drive our 2023, one of our vehicles is this 2023 Freightliner M2.
And whyabouts is it pink?
So we bought a new truck and we went to a new theme, and we are out to give awareness for breast cancer. And so we had some people near and dear to our hearts, and our truck this year is for that reason.
Awesome. Yeah, it's definitely a good cause, and it's a beautiful looking truck. What's the biggest thing you put on it so far?
Cube truck fully loaded with plumbing supplies. We had to use the heavy to flip back over, and it was still together, and we put it on the truck and brought it home that way.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, it's definitely a beautiful truck, and I'm sure you guys are going to put a lot of good use to it, and it turns a lot of heads.
Thank you.
Thank you. Where are you from?
Peterborough.
Peterborough? And what's your name?
Daryl.
Daryl?
Yeah.
Whereabouts do you drive?
I drive that truck over there, rotator.
The rotator over there.
Left block. Yeah.
The NRC?
Nope.
No.
This one over here.
Oh, okay. And
Miller rig.
Miller rig. And why do you choose that one?
Just always dealt with Canadian towing, and
What sets it apart from any other truck here?
not a whole lot. They're all same thing, just a little different.
Yep. Awesome.
You want to know,
Toll Man G. Whereabouts are you from?
I'm from Manitoulin.
You're from Manitoulin Island. Yeah. And what do you drive?
I drive a... Oh boy, that's a loaded question. This particular unit's a 2019 F550 892.
Yep. And why do you like it?
Why do I like it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's Ford.
And why do you like the wrecker unit that's on it?
The particular wrecker unit is phenomenal. The 9,000 pounds retracted with fork capability. That it is a very capable machine.
Yep.
There's not too many situations you end up in that you can't get yourself out of.
Awesome. And would you buy another one?
Next one would be an integrated. We'll miss some of the assets of the independent wheel lift and boom, but I do think the integrated will be an easier wrecker to operate.
I wouldn't call myself important. All right, get you in frame here. So what's your name?
My name is Daryl Arbuckle, New Glasgow, Nova Scotia.
All the way from Nova Scotia. What brings you out to Ontario?
Tow Show.
Tow Show.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And what abouts do you drive?
Where do I drive?
No, what do you drive?
What do I drive? We drive, we have a Dodge 1-ton wrecker, we have a international flatbed, and we have a Freightliner flatbed.
And what kind of wrecker bodies do you have on your flatbeds?
Century on the wrecker, and Jerdan on one of the beds, and Miller Century on the other bed.
Yeah. So you like sticking with the Miller. Have you ever thought about changing?
I stick with a thing that makes me money and doesn't cost me too much downtime.
That's awesome. That's pretty much the main thing.
And that comes with maintenance.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
To meet you too.
He's we started together. I trained him. I don't know, 6-7 years ago we met.
Something like that.
We worked for the
7
team.
years ago.
Yeah, we started. Il a commencé en compagnie que je travaillais, puis we met. We knew each other. We hung out. We were friends, and then last year we decided, hey, you want to do a podcast on towing? Sure.
The Towing Life.
The
Towing Life.
Yep.
Yeah.
What'd you do before towing?
Mechanic.
What about you?
I own detail shops.
All automotive based.
Yep.
Yeah, automotive. Okay. Why towing?
I learned how to work on them, and I'm an expert mechanic on wreckers. I'm not a tow truck driver. I'm actually a fleet manager for Abrams.
Perfect.
Been there for 21 years.
We've spoken before.
I started out part-time and enjoyed it so much I made it full-time. And that was 30 years ago.
Any advice for anybody getting into the industry now? Because I know we're having a hard time finding people to get in. Any advice you'd have for them, wait?
Only do it if you're dedicated. If you're looking for a 9-to-5 job, this isn't for you.
The best advice of all: be safe.
Yes.
Be careful.
Yeah.
I don't think if you're dedicated and you have the passion, as we all know, I've been at it 10 years, you're not going to last anyways, right? Because you figure it out real quick that it's not going to be something for you.
It's something you're bred to do. You have to be a special person to want to stay up all night and sleep 4 hours and get back at it and not see your family. You have to love what you do.
It's a big commitment.
Yep.
It's a big commitment.
I think a lot of people, though, we always hear that, right? It's the hours is the crazy thing, but no one really tells you how rewarding of a job it is. That's what I find. It's rewarding.
You only get out what you put in. You only get out what you put in. You want to work 8 hours a day, you're going to get 8 hours of pay for it.
Yeah.
You're going to get the rewards according to what you put into it. If you don't put
not even the financial side. Like it's honest work at the end of the day when you've helped somebody else that's been in the thing, right? And I don't think we push that enough.
Every situation you're going to is a bad situation for someone else. Making it better makes it worthwhile.
And if you're in a major, reliable company with a good name and being honest, it is a rewarding job. If you're not, you turn the whole industry upside down and make us look bad.
And we have a lot of that.
And we have too much of that.
Yeah.
Perfect. Guys, I got questions. You got answers? No? Come on. They're easy ones. I won't ask you the law on it. Well, we're at the Towing Life podcast. And the other question I have, and if you guys are willing to answer it, is what did you do before towing? No? Nobody? Come on.
It's been so long ago. I've been in this racket for over 30 years.
High school.
That's fair.
That was 10 years ago.
Then why towing? That's the other thing. No one really. Why towing?
Enjoy helping the public.
That's a good answer.
Here for the public.
That's a good answer. I agree with that. It's fun times. Like I said, no one thinks about how rewarding it is. That's why I keep telling people. No one thinks of, they think, oh, you guys, the long hours and whatever. And it's like, no, but at the end of the day, when you've just ran into this couple that is on their way to a vacation and broke down,
or a wedding,
and a wedding or anything,
I've done a couple of those.
I think that helps make some of those long hours. When you do it long enough, you gotta have a passion for it, or you ain't gonna do it. And those moments really help. So, all right, guys, appreciate it. Enjoy the show. Oh, G's already got Bryce. G's cornered Bryce in his shiny truck. Smart man. I've trained him well.
I do edit it all.
I might
now.
say the wrong thing.
Yeah, that's fine. Everything gets edited. The copy.
No, I'm just not politically correct all the time.
Oh, don't worry. Neither are we. Have you ever seen our podcast?
Yeah.
There's a lot of
start
editing.
out like that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So
Tabernacle. Yeah.
Who am I speaking with today?
Oh, are we on?
Yeah, we're recording.
Sorry.
We're not live. We're recording.
I'm Bryce Weber from Aces Heavy Towing.
Yep. You're the owner?
Yeah, I guess you'd call that.
Yes, you can call that. Awesome.
Me and my parents.
And what are we standing here with?
Standing here with our new 50-ton rotator that we just had built this year. It's an 1150 RXP. The full side puller set up on it.
Mm-hmm.
Dual 35,000-pound winches up there, dual 50 mains, and a 50 drag. So
you've got 5 winches total on this unit?
Yeah, with the knee boom option. So
nice.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of wreckers, you don't normally see this style of outrigger. Why did they go with this style, or why did you prefer this style?
So we do a lot of like narrow back road recovery work with one truck. So the advantage of this is we got 2 pull points, like 24 feet apart, front and rear, and then the ability to be completely independent of the boom. So a lot of our stuff we drag straight up sideways to ourselves versus holding with one truck and pulling traditionally. Part of the idea with going with the side pullers is to do as much as you can with one guy with one truck in today's world. So
yeah, that's definitely an asset to have.
Yeah, because it's hard. You know, we get swamped and you get multiple trucks in the ditch all at the same time, and it's hard to send 2 trucks to every job. So if each guy can go do his own thing, so that was the idea behind it. We've done a lot of recovery with it in the 3 months we've had it, and it's really impressive. We're very happy with the truck.
Yep. Would you buy another Miller?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would.
What sets it apart from a NRC chassis? I heard you saying that's your old truck over there.
That's my old truck right there. I sold to a friend of mine. Yeah. You know, they all got their pros and cons. There's some things I did like about the NRC. There's some things I like about the Miller. To be honest, I'd build them both again, but for what I'm doing, the side puller is a game changer.
Yep.
This winter will definitely tell the tale if we made a good decision or not, but so far we really like it.
Now, the side puller apart, just the actual rotator chassis, why is it so vital to have such a heavy duty rotator in this day?
So the biggest thing is the trucks are getting longer, heavier, and what we're seeing, we do a lot of 5-axle trailers. We're doing walking floors and live bottoms and cattle trailers, and they're not designed to be pulled on. There's a lot of stuff doesn't even come with tow hooks on it anymore, and even the chassis got really poor tow hook assemblies on a lot of them. So the thing of it is you do a lot more lifting than pulling now, and you got to grab multiple points. Like we get straight trucks that weigh 100,000 pounds on 4 or 5 axles some days. So I got to grab it at 3 or 4 spots just so you don't bend or break anything, right? So that's the biggest reason. You got to have the capacity is one thing, but you got to have the reach. The wrecks seem to be getting more serious. They're further off the road. They're destroyed a lot more. Just everything's getting bigger. And in Ontario, we can carry the most weight per axle than anywhere in North America. So it's tough. We build trucks to completely max them out every day, and then they wreck them and they break down.
So before they came out with the rotators, we're going back a couple of years now, everything was done by straight trucks. Do you think the rotators coming into the scene has made the recoveries easier, or do you think it's actually dumbed us down as thinking outside of the box to do things?
It's definitely, like for us, it's made it easier. It's way faster. And the other half is it doesn't wear the operator out. When you used to side pull the straight stick, you got the truck leaning and it's sliding and carrying on, you're re-rigging and hooking to trees and everything to do what you had to do. I mean, I still do some of that stuff, don't get me wrong, but it makes it faster, right? Like I can pull up to this and snowplow rolled over. If the box is empty, 20 minutes, half an hour, I got it on its wheels up, gone, done. And if it drives, he drives it away, right? So the old days, you had to put, 2 wreckers, one side pull and bring it up, one's pulling it ahead up onto the road. So the rotators are a lot more money, but they do hold their value. And there's other work, right? We do a lot of drop trailers and lifting lathes and stuff inside of buildings and stuff. So there's that, you have that opportunity for work too, right? But the big thing is the you can do a lot more in a day. If you're a high volume company, you can do a lot more in a day with a rotator, and that's.
And what sets you apart from your competition?
We got really well trained operators is our biggest.
I see that you're Recmaster certified on the rigger there.
All our guys are Recmaster. Even my dad, he's 68 years old, and he's been through Recmaster. And we spend a lot of money on good equipment, but you know, you want good guys, you gotta have good equipment in today's world too, right? But even if you look around at this show, I'm not sure the exact number of heavies, but it's 50-50 on straight sticks and rotators now. You know, like we used to see 10 years ago, you maybe seen 1 or 2 rotators, and even a couple years ago, it was like 30%. Now we're at 50% of the heavy recovery trucks
are rotators.
Like for guys that are doing recovery all the time, have a rotator now. Now, you know, there was a transition from, like, you seen it in the 750 homes, right? It was, I don't need a hydraulic wrecker. I can do everything what I did with the 750. You know, give me a 750. And now we're at that same argument with rotators, guys. You don't need a rotator, you use a straight stick, blah blah blah. But I mean, you got to do a lot of recovery work or lifting to justify it off, right? Like this truck here, we started it a year ago with a glider chassis and then an 1150. And it was just shy of 800,000 Canadian to build this truck. And we took delivery of it June 1st of this year. And the day I took delivery is 990,000.
Wow.
To build. That's a significant price increase in 1 year. 20%. You know, $1 million doesn't take you far in the heavy.
No,
heavy
it definitely does not. It does not. Now, what's the training period like on one of these newer rotators, especially with a side puller, because you just got so much going on one chassis?
I mean, it's kind of a learn as you go thing. We've done a lot of research before we built the truck. We did a lot of research on this and to see if it was going to work for our application. But it's every learning curve still, right? How you set the truck up. I place it in a different spot compared to my old old rotator, just because. Got the ability to do side pulling now right here, right? I can bring stuff right beside.
Right where we're standing.
Like I can bring it tight enough you can't walk between it, right? So, and aggressively if you want to. So we, you know, it's tough. I love speccing trucks. I love building trucks. But it's hard to build a truck to do 100% of your work. So you got to, you know, focus in on 85-90% of your work.
And that's where your some specialty tools come in to get you that last 15%.
You know, some days it's a little too big for what I'm doing. Some days it's not big enough but for the most part it does the job. I built a tri-drive this time, which was it's not common in this industry.
No.
But, with our weight laws and everything in Ontario changing, as of January 1st this year, we have to start pulling into the weigh scales and we're going to get weighed.
What are your thoughts on that? So, we're getting a little off truck, so I know you're the truck guy, but give me a hot take.
It's not bad if you're doing your everyday stuff. It's when you get into that ugly, aggressive,
the stuff that we have to do to make the industry keep going.
You know, they want it off the road, and then you pull up to the scale, and they're like, you can't do that. You're like, well, the guy back there said I can. And so it's gonna be a learning curve in that. So that was part of the reason we built it. The way we built this truck too is, right now it sits here, it's 19,000 pounds on every axle. So
wow, very balanced.
Very balanced. Nothing's overloaded. Now, in the winter, it's going to be a little harder to steer and stuff, but we've done some valve regulating and stuff to play with that if we need to.
Awesome.
But so far it tows as good as my truck with a traditional steering lift. And everybody said, "Oh, you're nuts," but you know what? It's working, and
you're going to put it to a test this winter.
100%. So we've, you know, it's probably done a dozen recoveries already. And
it's awesome. And you guys are all pretty much heavy, or do you do light and medium?
We don't do any light duty towing.
No light duty.
We didn't, and then I took over for a light duty company. At the beginning of COVID, they moved out east. I said, well, you know, it was kind of I fell into it, and it was I didn't really want to, but we'll give it a try. And I did it for a year. And you know what? It was 20% of my business, was 90% of my headaches.
That's what they say about light duty towing.
So the heavy work, you know, for the most part, you don't get bothered at night. You know, the light duty, the phone rings nonstop. It's hard to find light duty guys. And I had a good guy that was running it. But I put another big tilt load on the road, and I wanted him to go into it. And then he's, you know, no nights, no weekends.
Yeah.
And we like that. But, you know, I don't have to deal with
the bullshit.
Certain people coming into the compound in the middle of the night and they're showing up and arguing because the police impounded their car and they don't agree with it. So, but the good thing with that is we work with a lot of companies around us because the light duty guys, you know, just
like give
they
you their
give
work,
us the heavy stuff, and then when we get the light duty work, you know, I'll call this guy, call that guy, right? So it works good because we don't have a conflict with all that, right? And the light duty towing, it's too easy to get into that market. You can still buy a $15,000 truck and hit the ground running.
Yeah, I could get anyone here as long as I can get insurance for them, put them in a truck tomorrow.
Like you can't even buy a 1995 Heavy for under 150 or 200,000 anymore, right? So. And it
it's a more investment, and you get more people that are, if they're getting into it, they're getting into it to stay.
Like if you get in, if you just go in and want to buy a rotator and you're not into the heavy work, you're $10,000-$15,000 a month payment for something like that, right? So it's a select market. I mean, the rotators are getting more common, but they do make the job easier and faster. And like I said before, you can do a lot more with one guy.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't regret it. I bought this is my third rotator in 5 years, I guess. And we bought the first one used, the second one we built, third one we built. And
you're building trucks from now on?
Yeah, and I this one's a glider, so we had to triple frame it in house, and it had airliner suspension. I'm not a fan of airliner for this application, so we put 78,000 new way in it. And then actually my old truck, we did the same thing. When we built it, we ripped the airliner out of it, put new hay in it, triple framed it. And and it was a good truck. And I don't even really have a valid reason on why I replaced it, to be honest.
You kind of kicking yourself in the butt now?
I like building trucks. Yeah, it looks good though.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
But I like building something bigger, and they're both 50 tons now. This Miller does have 7 more feet of boom than my old one, so the 7 feet does make a big difference. And then the side puller, and NRC didn't offer a side puller; they never have. And
maybe losing you as a client will make them get a side puller.
Maybe Stefan and Max are listening. No, they build a good product.
Right? Oh yeah,
it just but it wouldn't be smart business to not try something else. You know, like we've been an NRC guy since 1996. And I'm still, when it comes to tilt and load, I will not buy anything but an NRC. Like they're animals. But
they're 20 TBs and 40 TBs are in a realm all their own.
But you'll find excavating guys that they'll buy John Deere excavators and then they'll switch to a case for 3 years and try that. It wouldn't be a smart business if you didn't try it, right? So. And the curiosity always gets you too, right? So
now, there's a grass greener on the other side,
But I'm getting a pretty hard time.
I'm sure you're getting a lot of flack.
I was a pretty vocal NRC guy for a long time, but I tuck my tail between my legs. But no, I'm happy with it. Like,
awesome.
You put these two trucks together would be ideal. The slider has abilities that you don't have now. Like if I used to lift engines and stuff for a customer, and when you're placing an engine in a show truck, this slider's awesome because it just you can shimmy it any which way. The rotate was problems. You rotate, your angles change and stuff on a non-slider. So they all have their pros and cons, right? So.
And what's your biggest tip for someone who wants to get into the heavy world?
There's a lot.
Just one. Just one.
Just do your homework on what you're getting into. That's the biggest thing.
Doing your homework. The TV show count as homework?
Yeah. it's tough to get paid right now on the work you do and the price. And then you got to be able to know you got good operators, right? Like an owner goes out and buys a rotator, you can't be married to that truck. You have to have other guys that can run it or another guy, right? So that's all. Like you just really got to do your homework. It's a tough market right now, and you're going to see a lot of changes in the next 2 years. I think we got some rough waters coming, but I think in the long run.
Oh yeah, we'll make it through.
Yeah, exactly. So,
we will make it through.
So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking the time, Sean. It's been a pleasure.
Sean, Bryce.
Jeez.
Fuck. Sean's your buddy.
Yeah. You're Sean now.
Sean. Yeah, Sean. Give the ground.
Hey, that's my thing. I call people by the wrong name all the time just to get their reaction.
It's been worse.
So awesome. Well, thank you very much.
No problem. Anytime.
I'm just gonna fill up your SD card. What'd you do before towing?
I was a service manager at a repair facility.
Nice.
Yeah.
How long have you been? How long you been in towing now?
I've been with the company 30 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And why towing?
It was a good opportunity at the time, but I'm not hands-on on towing. So I work for a roadside assistance company.
Oh, the 3-letter roadsides. One of the 3-letter we refer to them on the show as the 3-letter roadside so that we don't individually pick anybody out. I don't know if you've heard of us. If you haven't, I'm not surprised. We're not that big. I've been asking operators throughout the whole weekend. What'd you do before towing?
Before towing, basically nothing.
Nothing of importance?
I've been in towing since I was 16.
How many years has that been? 15 years, give or take? You can't be much older than 31.
41 years.
41 years you've been in towing. I feel like a rookie at 10 years whenever I stand with guys like yourself. Why towing? What makes towing worth it as long as you've been doing it?
Just the excitement of it, I guess. Different. Every call's different. It might seem like the same, but it's all different. Different situations. How they broke down, where they're sitting. Mm-hmm. There's not everything's different. Yeah. It's always a challenge.
Never boring.
No, and you never know where you're going.
Yep. Never know when. Never know where.
Called out like at 3:00 in the morning for one broken down on the highway. Where you want to go? Oh, take me back to Cornwall. Take me back to Windsor. There's that down to the States.
Whereabouts you out of?
Yeah, we're out of Kitchener.
You're out of Kitchener. Okay, perfect. So you're the local to the show. You guys
we're only about 2 minutes away.
Okay, perfect. I mean, customers ask us, why do you do it?
I mean, it's always something different.
Yeah, not true.
Like I said, I've been into it since I was 16, off and on. I did it for 3 years straight, then I get out of it. Worked in a couple body shops, a couple factories, and I got back into it again for 9 years straight. Then I got out of it. I was always into it part-time. And 13 years ago, I started with Active. I've been here ever since.
Nice. Other than being the brightest dressed, I'm going to go with tow operator at the show. What did you do before towing, John?
Towing.
No, what did you do before towing?
Before towing, I started towing at 21. So, McDonald's, bowling alley, auto wreckers.
Why towing?
It was an opportunity. It was a job with freedom. And, you could do your own thing and make some good money doing it.
That's about as fair. That's about as good as an answer. Anyone coming into the industry or anyone thinking about the industry, what advice do you have for them?
Yeah, come on in and just get on with the right group, get the proper training, and, good luck to you.
That beard looks great on camera.
I know.
What'd you do before towing?
Worked at McDonald's.
Why? I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
No.
You did?
No.
What'd you do before towing?
Nothing. I was in high school. I started
right out of high school.
Right out of high school. Driving tow truck part-time in high school.
Why towing then?
Freedom to run around and do what I need to do while you're at work.
And how long have you been towing now?
Since 91. Been out here since 91, so
31 years?
Yes.
The only reason I could do that math so close is that was about the time I was born. So, what'd you do before towing?
Same, right out of high school, into the business, family business, so third generation.
Okay, yeah, that's what you're seeing a lot of too, the generational thing, right? The third generation. Would you encourage a fourth generation at this point?
If we could get the changes under control, 100%.
Like, that's the big thing. A lot of people are on that edge of, is it, you know what I mean? Like, would you want your kids doing it?
My son loves doing it. I've got videos of him 12 years old running the rotator, lifting containers, but it's just the politics of things and insurance and, the business side of things. The job is fantastic, right?
Yep.
You get the political side of things and, the chasing and this and that and everyone's, it's a challenge, 100%, but yeah, it would definitely be a good job for if someone likes to be challenged every day, you're challenged.
If we can clean up the industry, it's a good, honest job. It's rewarding, right? No one talks about the rewarding part of helping people out.
They don't. 100% they don't. I had an email the other day from a customer. My guys went out, Eric went out, towed him in to the shop, got a starter in, towed, repaired, back on the road within 2 hours. And the first time in that I ever remember, we got a positive response of an email, right? You always hear the negative, you never hear the positive, right? It's a hard-working job, it's a hard pay, but, you know, it does pay good.
Absolutely.
What do you like about this truck?
I like the snatch block.
The snatch block?
Yeah.
It does look pretty cool.
It's neat.
Do you drive an NRC?
I don't.
Oh, come on, man.
I used to.
Well, it's on the back of an NRC, so if you like it.
I know.
Are you switching?
I would like to. It's not my money.
Where are you from?
I'm with KW Towing in Kitchener.
Nice. What brings you out here?
Just checking it out. Never been to a tow show before.
First time? Wow. How are you enjoying it so far?
I just got here, so.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm your first impression.
It's all good.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem. Take care.
This is why we're doing a recording and not a live. That's called editing. That is called. My video editor is outside, and he's gonna hate me whenever I just give him an hour worth of footage, and he can figure out what you want. Yeah, figure out what you want out of this.
Yes, Plain Guy. As your editor, I do hate you for just giving me all that footage. But thank you guys, the listeners, for watching and staying to the end. It means a lot to me, and it means a lot to us here at the podcast. We had a great time at the Tow Show. We're looking forward to it next year. If you guys are looking forward to more content like this, feel free to let us know. You can email us at thetowinglife@gmail.com. You can go to our website, towinglife.ca. There's a www dot in front of that, but I'm pretty sure we know how to use the internet by now. Hopefully, you can find us on Facebook, the Towing Life Podcast. You can call us at 249-666-2209. I figured I might as well read that off since Plain Guy isn't here. Let us know your feedback on this. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. I had a wonderful time. With that said, we will see you next week. Regular scheduled podcast. We'll definitely get up to some shenanigans then. So until then, we'll see you next time. Toodles. All right, one more time, just for good measure. Fuck, I make a lot of extra work for myself. Plain Guy's not the only asshole around here, I guess. But for me, Plain Guy, and producer Sarah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. Toodles. That one was short and sweet and to the point. Oh, maybe because my internet's absolute dog shit. That could be why.